Good afternoon, everyone. Inflation smashing, grains skyrocketing, whales, growing your own food not important, hunger map around the world, World Economic Forum, using the Internet of Things and artificial intelligence to boost agricultural production, and those of us that will be around, plant-based food market, that's your future. What if we can tax this volcano to tell it to stop emitting the gas? The last time we had a Democrat-led Congress and president was during the first years of the Obama administration. Janet Yellen was the Fed chair then, and now soon to be the new Treasury Secretary under Biden. Obamacare was passed. President Obama and Congress sent billions to banks and Wall Street. That was the perfect recipe, and gold soared more than 200% from 2008 to 2011. Patriot Gold Group has the no-fee-for-life IRA, where your IRA or 401k can be in physical gold and silver, and you may be eligible for the no-fee-for-life IRA. So go ahead and give the folks at Patriot Gold Group a call to discuss physical gold and silver, and the knowledge that Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer 5 years in a row from 2016 till present. Click the link in the description box below for more information. And now on with the video. And if you haven't seen already, your life's getting more expensive, and by the end of the year, it's going to be super expensive, capital S. Food prices have begun to rise sharply. They're going to continue northward. Look for 2010 levels because everybody's talking about commodities super cycle. The grains sub-index reflecting this at the highest levels since 2014, and as it surpasses that, we're going to be right into the next super cycle. And also the Reuters index showing a breakout as well, although not as high as 2014. But wherever you look, something is increasing in price. Now, I'm not sure if it's all of this money printing that the Fed has done, and we're nearing $30 trillion for U.S. debt. Do you think it might be some inflationary event because of overstimulated money printing? And remember the Weimar Republic, it wasn't the actual hyperinflation event that caught people off guard. It was the inflationary event leading to the hyperinflationary events, where things went up 2, 3, 4 times in a year. Wasn't hyperinflation, but it was enough to smash everybody's livelihoods. Repeating cycle in history, 3 years before the hyperinflation, if we follow the Weimar Republic. So during this time, it's so essential that we start growing our own foods and taking our own autonomy away from this centralized system of production and distribution. We should be growing our own food as much as we can, and all governments should be pushing this. Get as self-sufficient as you can right now because you know systems are going to start fracturing and breaking down. Look what's happening with the electrical supply across Europe and the United States. Prime examples. Food would be another. Except the government of Wales says, oh no, non-essential. You are not allowed to grow your own food. Spring planting season, these seeds are non-essential. Now what would you do if you could reach over the rope there? I'd be going right for the selection of the peas and the beans. Staples across the planet. Also, World Economic Forum coming out with an enormous amount of how the elites are going to change the world over the next few years. But here's their hunger map for 2020. Chad looks like it's the hungriest country in the world. And there's some other standouts there, Madagascar. And we get more into the orange in Mongolia and a lot of other countries in Africa. But the whole focus seems to be with the World Economic Forum on food, food production, food distribution, and getting food more efficient. The future of food was literally a third of the focus groups in the strategic intelligence breakout sessions. Food, food, and more food. I thought it was so interesting that an enormous amount of their targeted areas for putting the fingers into everything food right in the tropical zones where the grand solar minimum won't affect it so much. It is a who's who of tropical countries where food could be grown year-round, even if the northern and southern hemispheres are freezing and losing major agribusiness, agricultural production. sunny Latin American, Caribbean countries, biodiversity across the equator and parts of the Mediterranean. Wow. Who knows something that they're not telling the rest of us? Well, except for the investment possibilities that keep being put out as the play for the future, total plant-based food market increases almost 30% from 2017 and 19. Not sure where we sit after the cataclysmic decline in everything across the planet finance-wise over 2020 to 2021 right now. They're still trying to get you to eat bugs. Don't worry. That's going to continue. Because the United Nations coming out, a shift to plant-heavy diets, a heavy push to heavy diets. Now they're trying to equate the entire global food production system is destroying all the biodiversity on the planet. And the only way around this is you got it. Bugs or plant-based diet. Meat, you're off the table. Only the elite will get meat. Well, unless you have your own goats or chickens, pigs or cows. And one of the main themes in the World Economic Forum that I kept coming across again and again was this hybrid of AI and the Internet of Things, whether it be in cities, autonomous driving vehicles, whatever. This was the theme of all themes, is the integration, and here we are, the integration of smart agricultural concepts and competitions using both of those, IoT and AI, to produce more food in the same exact space. 196% more, almost doubling it. Now that's compared to a traditional human farmer. Read between the lines there. And also what I find so interesting, by 2035, the labor productivity in developed countries could rise by 40% due to the influence of AI. Well, then humans are going to be extra double redundant, are they not? So I've linked everything from the World Economic Forum in this year's platforms breakout sessions so you can look through and see sweet success, what it means for you as a human being phased out. Because who's going to run the cricket farms, the black mealworm processing facilities? You only need a few people to do that. We need some AI to grow food. Oh, the grapes that are being grown by AI, that's for the elite. Don't worry, you're not going to have any wines or alcohols because we'll have no more grains. We're just going to go to a strictly plant-based, green veggie superfood diet with insect protein mix. Awesome. You could probably drink that in a shake, get it in one bar to last you through the day. If your social credit score is good enough, you'll get both the plant bar and the insect bar in one day. Probably get some sort of chlorinated water with that, including the fluoride. That'll be awesome. Stay safe. You want to keep your teeth healthy. And it's all predicated on the gas that everybody's supposedly spewing about. But I come here, spectacular eruption of Etna. These are some stunning images. This looks like Land of the Lost, kind of dinosaur times, lava rolling down the sides of the volcanoes. So I would ask you the serious question, how much do you think we should tax this volcano? Because it is spewing a lot of CO2 out of there during the eruption. What type of trade restrictions should we put on this? Because it's not going to net zero. Bad volcano. And you can see where the world's leading to. At least the narrative's dragging you into one direction. We all have a choice of how we want to play inside this perceived hologram of information. But you do see emergencies are happening all over the place. You should think about storable food and water, both, and an emergency heat source. But for the food, 2-week or 4-week emergency food supply, My Patriot Supply and Adapt 2030. They also have 6-month and 1-year packages as well. Water filtration, everything you might need for your preparedness right inside My Patriot Supply. Great way to support the channel and an even better way to get you and your families ready for these changes so you can stay out of the chaos. That link's in the description box below, along with all the links to everything I talked about, including those amazing images for the Mount Etna eruption. That's in the description box below. I thank you so much for watching, spending your time with me, and I'll see you next video.